Hello everyone. In this lecture of software engineering, we are going to discuss some attributes and characteristics of good software. The first attribute or characteristic of good software is that a software should be maintainable. Now, what does a maintainable software mean? A maintainable software should be designed and developed in such a way that it should easily update itself, it should easily adapt to new technologies, it should not be complex, should have free space and capacity for memory storage, processor utilization, and other resources. The second characteristic is that a software should be understandable. A sign of good developer or a programmer is that we should keep in our mind that we can have a customer from non-IT background. Now, what does non-IT background mean? A person coming from non-IT background can be not aware of computer. He can be someone who might be using computer for the first time. So for a person who is going to use computer for the first time, it might become difficult to handle a complex software. So keeping in mind what type of customer you are serving, you should accordingly design your graphical user interface. The next characteristic is completeness. A software should have all necessary part included and completed. We should always keep in mind and respect customers' requirements and make sure we develop, design, and build software according to customers' requirements. The next characteristic is no data redundancy. We should always keep in mind that there is a database attached at the back end. We should keep in mind that data should not be redundant. Now, what is redundancy? Redundancy is repeated things. We should not repeat data, we should keep it precise, or we should always keep in mind that data should be normalized. We should follow the rules of normalization and keep our database normalized. And speaking about application, we should not have redundant code. We should not repeat same amount of code which is performing or functioning only one thing. The next characteristic is it should be portable. A software should easily execute or run on multiple computer configurations. Portability can mean both between hardware, such as running on PC as well as on laptop, and between different operating systems, such as Windows and Linux. The next characteristic is consistency. Consistency is nothing but uniformity in notations, symbols, appearance, and terminology within itself. We should keep in mind that many teams are going to work on one software, and a single team can have a bunch of people, or you can say 4 to 5 people working in one team, and we can have 10 to 15 teams working on one software. So every team is going to work accordingly, togetherly. We are developing one software, so we should keep in mind that the style of writing the code and naming convention should be same. There can be an example that after one team finishes their work, the other team is going to start their work. So the next team has to first understand the previous team's work. So when we use different naming conventions and different style of coding, it becomes difficult to understand what the other team has done. We need to understand their work, and then we will be adding our work inside it. So we should keep in mind that the software should be consistent in terms of coding and naming conventions. The next important characteristic is usability. The capability to understand, learn, and use by making it more understandable for user by using nice and simple graphical user interface as a software component. Our product has to be usable for a long duration of time. The next important characteristic is reliability. Here, reliability is in terms of input and output. We can call a software reliable when it is giving correct output for correct input. So, reliability in terms of software is correct input, processing it, and producing correct expected output. The next characteristic is efficiency. It implies fulfillment of purpose without waste of time, resources such as memory space, processor, its utilization, and network bandwidth. The last but not the least characteristic is security. As we all know that behind software at the back end, it's serving our database which is having data which can get converted to information. It is very important that you keep in mind that your data should be secured. Ability to protect its data against unauthorized access and wrong interface is providing security. So these were characteristics of software. Further, after studying definition of software, we will go through definition of software engineering. So the basic definition of software engineering states software engineering is the discipline providing some techniques, methods, and tools for the construction of good quality software within a limited budget and a given deadline with respect to constant requirement change. Note that here we are referring to a good quality software which has to have a limited budget, should be submitted or completed within the given time schedule, and please note down that it should be with respect to constant requirement change. When we saw system development life cycle, we went through requirement analysis and requirement gathering phase. There was only one phase of requirement analysis and gathering. But take in mind, practically speaking, software development can have a constant requirement change, and we should respect it and build accordingly. Now, the IEEE definition of software engineering states the IEEE, that is, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, states that an application of a systematic discipline, that is, step by step development, quantifiable approach for operations and maintenance of software, that is, the application of engineering to software development. Note that we are going to apply engineering principles to this development, and then a simple development will turn to software engineering. We are going to engineer a system and convert it from system to software and from software to product. By now we have studied system development life cycle. Now we are going to study how a system will get converted to software and how a software will get converted to a product. What we see and buy in market are products. When we call apps in the Play Store, they are products. When we install them, they are products. But initially, while development, they were systems. They got converted to software. And when it comes to market, when it gets a broad customer, it gets converted to product. We saw that system development life cycle had some phases which were systematic, which we can perform and build any system. Now, this methodology was adapted by software engineering or software development, and that's why they decided that there should be a systematic study or systematic steps which can be directly applied in the development of software which was known as software process models. We are going to study these models in detail. These models are completely based on system development lifecycle. These process models have adapted SDLC completely, and then they have changed it or altered it according to their needs and requirements. These process models majorly get divided into traditional models and some modern models. We are going to study both the models. While comparing, traditional models get divided into waterfall model, which is a complete abstraction or which has a complete abstraction of SDLC, prototyping model, and very important, spiral model. All these three models follow the principles of SDLC and are traditional models. Then what are the modern models? In this year's syllabus, we are going to consider one modern model, which is Agile model. Now, what is this Agile model? Agile stands for a ability to move quickly and easily. Agile can also be referred as having active coordination. So today's software industry is completely following Agile model. We are going to study Scrum's model and extreme programming model under agile development. Now, what are these Scrum's model? Scrum model is an incremental development, that is, it is going to give us some development with iterations. And extreme programming model is a model which focuses more on software's quality. This was all about today's lecture. Thank you.